Allāhu lā ilāha illā huwa al-Ḥayyu al-Qayyūm.
This is the end of the story and the beginning of your decision. Across 5 parts, we uncovered something most Muslims never stop to think about. A jinn forced to confess, angels carrying the throne, the grave, Judgment Day, and a call that will echo across creation. This is part 6, the final chapter. And by the end of this video, you'll understand one truth. Ayat al-Kursi is not just protection. It is recognition. If you've stayed with this series so far, you're already different. But if you're new here, this is true Islam voice. Subscribe now, because what you're about to hear may follow you for the rest of your life. Let me show you 2 believers. Same city, same masjid, same prayers, same struggles, but not the same ending. Believer 1. He wakes up, and before touching his phone, his lips move. Ayat al-Kursi. After Fajr, after every prayer, before sleep, not once, not occasionally, every day, life still hits him. Bills, loss, pain, but the whispers don't stay. Believer 2 isn't ignorant. He knows Ayat al-Kursi. He's heard the hadith. He's commented, "I'll start tonight," but nights passed, and habits never formed. Same problems, same tests, but the whispers stayed longer. Anxiety grew louder. Zama Islam, same belief, different discipline, and discipline is what shows up when angels start recording. Death doesn't announce itself. No countdown, no warning. One breath, then the next never comes. And in that moment, everything you said you believed is replaced by what you actually practiced. The angel of death approaches the first believer, not in terror, not in anger, but with calm. The recording angel speaks. This one remembered the throne again and again and again. And then the command comes. Take his soul gently. No scream, no resistance, only relief. But now, watch carefully, because this is where the 2 paths finally split. The angel of death approaches the second believer. He recognizes the moment. He knows what's happening. And, for the first time, regret speaks louder than hope. Not regret over sins, but regret over a protection he always meant to start. Tomorrow. Then comes the first night. No family, no phone, no excuses. Just you and what you carried. 2 angels descend. Their voices shake the grave. Who is your Lord? Before fear can rise, something steps forward. Not an angel, not a voice from outside. A verse. Ayat al-Kursi. Alive. I am the verse he never abandoned. I will answer for him. The same question is asked. Who is your Lord? But this time, no verse steps forward. No light fills the grave. Only hesitation. Only silence. Only the weight of a habit that was never built. Then the day arrives. No night, no shelter, no escape. Just humanity, standing. 50,000 years, and every second feels longer than the last. The sun draws closer. Sweat rises not the same for everyone. Some barely notice. Others are drowning in it. Not because Allah is unjust, but because deeds carry weight. Then something happens. The noise fades. The angels stop moving. Creation holds its breath. This pause is important. Do not rush it. Where are those who remembered my throne? No thunder, no shouting, just a call. That reaches every heart. From the crowd, a light appears. Then another, then another. Believer one steps forward. Not proud, not afraid, just certain, because recognition feels different. When it's earned, believer two hears the same call. His feet don't move, not because he's rejected, but because nothing pulls him forward. No light, no response, just the weight of unfinished intention. On that day, knowledge doesn't speak, habits do. Now, let me take you away from Judgment Day, back to somewhere quieter, somewhere familiar, because sometimes the smallest moments on earth create the biggest moments in the hereafter. A father stands at his child's bedroom door. The house is silent. The child is already half asleep. The father sits beside him and whispers, "Repeat after me. Allāhu la ilāha illā Huwa." The child stumbles over the words, smiles, tries again. Al-Ḥayyu al-Qayyūm. The father doesn't correct him. He lets him try. The father doesn't know it yet, but he just gave his child something that will outlive him. Years pass. Life happens. The child grows up, faces disappointment, loss, moments of doubt. But every night, those words return to his lips. And decades later, on his final night, he whispers the same words. His father taught him, "Allāhu la ilāha illā Huwa." Angels gather, not to test him, but to welcome him. And on that day, under the throne, a father and son stand side by side. No titles, no achievements, just light, connected by one verse, passed from one heart to another. This is what you leave behind. Not wealth, not property, but a practice that walks with your children when you no longer can. Take a breath. If this touched you, it's because it was meant for you, not for the crowd, for you. Ayat al-Kursi is not powerful because of how it sounds. It's powerful because of what it declares, that Allah never sleeps, never weakens, never forgets. And when you repeat it, you're reminding your heart who is truly in control. When you recite Ayat al-Kursi, you're saying, "Ya Allah, I trust you more than my fear, more than my plans, more than my strength." And Allah responds, not with words, but with protection. O Allah, make your words firm in our hearts. Make Ayat al-Kursi the guard of our homes, the light of our graves, and the comfort of our final moments. Protect our children, even when we cannot reach them, and gather us under the shade of your throne. On the day there is no shade but yours. Ameen. If you've watched this entire series, then don't let it end here. Start tonight. Just one step. Before you sleep, recite Ayat al-Kursi once. That's it. No promises, no pressure. Just begin. If you're making that commitment, comment, "I begin tonight, not for me," so your own heart remembers. This is True Islam Voice. If this series benefited you, then stay with us. We don't chase trends. We revive forgotten truths. Subscribe and walk this path with us. Remember how this story began? With a jinn whispering a secret in the darkness. That secret was never meant to stay hidden. It was meant to protect generations. And now, it has reached you. Tonight, when you recite Ayat al-Kursi, you are not alone.